YouTube, today I want to give you a few pointers on suspension components. This is a 2003 Infiniti G35, and you'll notice it has two lower control arms, one here, and it has, well, actually the other one is right here in the back. But this one here is attached to the ball joint. If you ever have this issue, they do sell the ball joint separate, but you may as well go ahead and replace the whole control arm here, because you'll notice here, see how this bushing is worn? You notice how the control arm is pushed all the way forward? That is actually supposed to be in the middle, so that shim is out of there, so that needs to be replaced. And we go over here to the other side, and you can see this shim is even farther out and it's protruding out. Once that shim comes out, this is really going to rattle and cause the car to feel unstable on the road. And you notice that ball joint, it's just finished. So they do sell this particular one with the ball joint in it, and they do sell this particular one with the ball joint in it, and it's a quick, easy fix, and it'll give you a lot more stable ride on the road. As you can see, the boot's damaged there. That's going to let all the grease out. The tie rod ends actually feel good, but you can't really tell right now because it's all loose. But we're going to take this thing loose and we're going to look at the other pieces and components of it, and we'll get right back to you and let you know what the final synopsis of this vehicle is. So here we have the old control arms that we took off, and you'll notice this is the bushing, that insert that goes in the middle there. There's actually one there, and there's actually supposed to be one there, but these fell out. Okay, and remember when they were on the car, all that was basically pushed out to one side, like so. So here's the new one. Notice how that looks. That bushing is right even in the middle, pressed in, and of course you can't push that out. And then you'll also notice on the new part, this bushing here is brand new, whereas on your old part, this bushing wears out, and that's where the sway bar link hooks into and will cause some extra play in motion in the steering of the car. This is our lower ball joint here. Basically this has to be driven out and then pressed in, and it has a spring clamp that goes on the top. I do recommend getting the better ball joints. You know, sometimes you'll go to the auto parts store, they'll have a cheap version and an expensive version. I like to get the expensive version because they're better built, they last a lot longer, and you know, you don't want to be having to change ball joints every couple of years. But whatever product you get, I do recommend you get something with a lifetime warranty, because sometimes even though the part's new, you will find a part from time to time that will be faulty or not up to spec. So that warranty can really come in handy there. Now some of these are made where you can lubricate them, and some of them are made where they're just permanently fixed so that you can't lubricate it, and you know, once it wears out you just change it. So we're going to go out here and get this stuff put on the car and let you see what it looks like, and put it back together and then test drive it and see how it does. But the car should drive 100% better now that you won't have the play because of this piece being broken. Alright, any questions or comments, please chat. Also subscribe and share this with the world. Thanks, YouTube. It's worn out. This replacement. The boot is gone. And you'll notice the grease is not coming out of it, so this was gone. You can see where the grease is leaked out there. And then the ball joint on the other side, it is in pretty bad shape too. It's loose. Look at that, boot's all messed up. So we're going to change that out. Now this particular piece has to be pressed out. Basically the press that you use to get that out, we're going to use a press like this and push that out. Some of you may want to take and try to pry it out or hammer it out. Well, it doesn't work on this particular vehicle. You do need that press to get that ball joint out. So we're going to pop those out and press the new ones in, and then we'll put on the new lower control arms. And after that, this vehicle should be riding and driving a whole lot better and a lot steadier on the road. All right, so we're gonna get busy on that. I'll set that up to show you, give you an idea of how to get that out. I can't film and press it out at the same time, but I will set it up so you can see what that looks like and how you get that ball joint. I want to show you how you get that out. And what you want to do is you want to press that out. Some people like to try to bang it and hit it out, but you can't bang and hit that out. What you're going to need is a 3-in-1 service kit or ball joint press. That's what they look like. Here's the press here. Basically what happens is you mount the sleeve. Let's put some light over here so we can see. You want to mount your sleeve above the ball joint. Okay, you have a sleeve there, you mount above that, and then it has a cap that you put on top of that. Now as you put the cap on top of that, can you give me a hand, Andrew?
Yeah. What do we do?
Just hold the camera. Alright, so you put that there. Then you take your press, put under your ball joint, tighten it up.
Your hand is right there, go right there.
Like so. Once it gets tight, hand tight, if you have an air wrench, then it'll make it a whole lot easier to get this out. If you don't, I suggest you use a breaker bar to turn this. We have an air wrench, so we're going to do an air wrench. Watch how fast and easy this is. Alright, so once you have it mounted up, squeeze. See that pop?
All right.
Ball joint's out. Installation of the ball joint is going to be the reverse. You'll use the same tool. Basically, sit your ball joint there. You'll sit your ball joint in the hole. Then you'll mount up your sleeve and your press. And you're actually going to go the opposite way now. And what will happen is it'll pull this down. So we'll mount this up and get ready to install it. And I'll show you that so you can see what's going on. This time we're going to use a smaller sleeve, one to fit over that. Hey, I'm filming. I need you to be quiet, please. Now, also, when you're putting it back on, there is a bottom receiver cap. Goes on the bottom. And now, when we apply tension to this, pressure to it, what will happen is it's going to pull that down. Notice when we press the button, see how that drops down? Okay. And also, at the bottom, the reason you use a bottom cap, receiver cap, is because as you see this lip's dropping down here at the bottom. See that lip dropping down at the bottom? You need that to drop down, so you need the bottom receiver cap so that it can fall down in there and not damage it. We're going to switch this around now. Yep. Need to go a little bit more. Before I lock it on down, I want to show you why you need to go a little bit more. You see there's a little groove in there that we need to get down under that. We're going to drop that groove down. But basically that is how you do it. If you have any questions or comments, please post in chat. I'm going to go ahead and knock this out real quick. Kind of hard to film and video at the same time. And then we'll come back and show you the completed. To do the final seating of it, you'll want to remove your cup from the top, use your cap, put the cup at the bottom. So in order to do the final seating of it, what you want to do is take your ring cap off the top, or use a smaller one, put it on the bottom. That will allow the ball joint to slide up through this hole as you're applying pressure here. Alright, so we'll turn that, this will turn, and that'll actually pull this down and seat that on in. Let's see if we can show you that. After you have your ball joint in there installed, what you want to do is install the snap ring, and that locks it in place. And basically if you take some snap ring pliers and put in there, it makes it pretty easy. So now we have this side done. Now also you'll notice with this new one, look at that, there's no play, no flop or anything on that. I'm moving the whole arm, so that's why we replaced that, to get rid of the play and the flop there. Now we'll replace the lower control arm and tie this all together, and we'll be finished with this side. Also, when putting this together, we're going to torque these bolts. This is a little unique one. A lot of times it'll give people trouble. What you want to do is have like an Allen wrench to hold that, while you have an open end box wrench or closed box wrench to turn it. Alright, and that'll hold that still so that you can tighten that up. We'll connect the shock, tie the ball joint in there, and then we'll be finished with this project. If you have any questions or comments, please post, chat. Hope this was able to help you out. If you need anything in the future, special requests, I do those as well. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Other than that, you have a great day. Is the reverse of taking it off. What you'll want to do is put your sleeve under, your receiving sleeve, put your cap on top. Now when you tighten this down, what will happen is this will force this ball joint down into the hole. And you have this because the bottom of lip is protrudes out. So we got this mounted up. You want the hole at the top open. That way the top of the ball joint will rise up through that hole there. Okay, so we're going to mount this up with the air gun. Let's see if we can get it back in there. Have our air gun mounted up. Now we're going to seat this in there. Alright, move on this side so you can see a little better. Alright. See how that takes it on down? Alright. So now we have that recessed in there. And you can see
It's almost there.
it's there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is there. I'm looking at the wrong end. She's in there.
So it drops the lip down in there. Now you can get your clamp in there and lock that in. I'm having the most problems today with lighting. All right, but that's how you get that in there. Now that's pressed in, it doesn't take long. It's a pretty quick, easy process. I just wanted to share that with you. Just wanted to share that with you. Now we can take that off. Now you have your ball joint. You notice it's pressed down evenly, and it's ready to be put back together. We'll put our snap ring on. And that's that. As far as the ball joints. Now we'll connect our lower control arms, and this job is just about finished. We have our new lower control arms installed along with our new ball joints. Everything's nice and tight and firm. And you notice now that when you try to pull on it, it's no shaking at all. Also, you'll notice inside there your control arm now sits in the center of this piece the way it's supposed to. So I am going to recommend an alignment for this car. Possibly, well, yeah, because we took so much stuff apart, I do want to recommend an alignment for it. But also, with the alignment, we want to gotta check to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be and won't cause your tires to wear prematurely. Alright, so we're going to put the tires back on and take it for a test drive, and other than that, YouTube, that pretty much finishes this job. Those control arms, like I say, they come out and go in pretty easily. But the biggest, hardest part of this job is that ball joint right there. Alright, if you have any questions or comments, please post, chat, subscribe. This is a 2003 Infiniti G35. Hope this has helped you out. If you have any comments, like I say, shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to respond and get back to you on that. There's a better view of that repair there.